Yo, let me lay it out for you. I'm gay. Not that I go broadcasting that shit constantly, but when it does come up, people are always stunned. You don't seem gay at all. What's that even supposed to mean? Or they're like, oh, I thought you were bi. Nah, fam, full-blown pussy pass denied over here. Anyway, this semester before summer, I met this dude who's basically a cooler, more ethnic version of myself. The type of guy I never thought I'd actually interact with, you know? Hispanic, loves chilling at the beach, just an all-around good-looking mucker. But we hit it off surprisingly well as friends right from the jump. I was low-key shook. Like, how is this premium cut of man even giving me the time of day? But he was actually a real chill, down-to-earth guy once you got past his Instagram model exterior. So summer rolls around and we start kicking it more, hitting up the pool together and shit. Not gonna lie, it was a struggle keeping my eyes off that bronzed Adonis body of his strutting around in next to nothing. But I played it cool, kept my chill. Didn't want to risk creeping him out and losing my new amigo over a little thirst. You feel me? We just vibe, have fun splashing around and soaking up them rays. I'd sneak peeks when I could, try not to gawk too obvious. Figured I'd admire the artwork from a respectable distance, if you know what I mean. So, one night, I finally worked up the balls to ask my parents if I could sleep over at his place. Told them some bees about my PS3 headset being busted so we could play games together without the online chat. They bought it, which low-key surprised me. I'm thinking they probably assumed we were just a couple of harmless straight dudes having a video game night. Little did they know their son was about to make his first real move on Mr. Steal your girl over there. I tried to maintain the conversational, almost conspiratorial tone, while tying it back to the previous beats about hanging at the pool and subtly checking him out. Let me know if you'd like me to adjust anything in terms of narrative flow or writing style. So I roll up to his place. His mom's the only one home, but she's just chilling in her room, leaving us to our own devices. We start up on the video games like we planned, crapping all over each other's correctios and talking mad shit like usual. After a couple hours, we're both fried on staring at screens, so he's like, oh, you trying to watch a movie or something? He's got Die Hard queued up on his DVR, which is obviously a classic, so we start that up instead. About an hour in, the conversation pivots a bit. He says, yo, I don't get how girls aren't just throwing themselves at you, my guy. I think Brianna's got a little thing for you, no cap. I just laugh it off and casually drop, well, shit, bro. Kinda hard for me since I'm, gay and all. There's just dead silence after I drop that bomb. Dude stops the movie and turns to me with this look on his face like I just spoke in tongues or something. For real, he asks. I don't know why, but in that moment I felt low-key embarrassed for coming out to him. We'd been clicking so well as friends up to that point, my irrational ass started thinking I might have just fucked things up. I played it cool though, just got up and was like, my bad, bro. Be right back before stepping out to the bathroom. Took a second to collect myself, splashed some water on my face. When I came back out to the living room, we both just sat there in awkward silence rewatching the movie. Out of nowhere, homeboy pauses the movie again and is just like, yo, I turn to look at him, and before I can even get a word out, he just grabs me and lays one on me. I'm talking a full-on lip-locking, tongue-down-the-throat kiss. It was so unexpected, so out of left field, everything just kind of stopped for a second, Like one of those scenes in a movie where the background noise fades out. I'm frozen, my brain short-circuiting, trying to process what the hell is happening. But then I started kissing him back, and we both just broke out into these big, stupid grins against each other's mouths like two little kids getting away with something they shouldn't. After that initial shock wore off, things escalated pretty damn quickly. 1 minute we're making out like hormonal teenagers, the next his hands are roaming underneath my shirt. I won't go into too much raunchy detail out of respect, but let's just say we ended up getting very, very intimately acquainted with each other that night, though we stopped short of going all the way, if you know what I mean. There was some overeager groping, some clumsy grinding, a lot of frantic making out and heavy petting like a couple of inexperienced virgins. Basically, we hooked up and did a bunch of gay shit that would make a porn star blush. It was equal parts awkward, passionate, and incredibly hot. I tried to keep things spicy without being too gratuitous. Let me know if you need me to veer more explicit or tame it down a bit while still maintaining the narrative flow. I gotta rewind a bit and give some context here. When I first met this dude at the beginning of the semester, I just assumed he was another straight lad. Everything about him screamed ladies' man, the way he carried himself, the slick comments, that cocksure attitude. He was hot as fuck, no doubt, but I figured he was strictly chick-approved material. The kind of guy girls dreamily doodle Mrs. His name in their notebooks about. So I admired that tall, sculpted body and gorgeous mug from a respectful distance like a pleb gazing upon a Greek. I tried to tie it back to the initial introduction of his character and physical attraction, but through the lens of assuming he was straight at first. Let me know if you need any adjustments to the narrative flow. But as we started kicking it more, hanging out regularly, I started picking up on little things that made me question if he was fully straight. Like sometimes when we were around certain other dudes, he'd get all quiet and almost shy, which was mad different from how outgoing and boisterous he usually was. It was low-key jarring to see this typically confident, life-of-the-party type of guy suddenly get bashful and awkward whenever a pair of slim-fitted jeans walked by, you feel me? There were just these small hints here and there that made me wonder if homeboy was at least a little bi-curious under that hardcore play exterior. Nothing super obvious, but just this vibe I started catching the more we chilled. Let me know if you need any adjustments to sustain that cohesive narrative flow from the previous beats as we transition into showing the signs that he might have been interested in more than just friendship. I remember one time early on, he was telling me about how his boys were shamelessly hitting on this bad lifeguard at the pool, straight up getting kicked out for being so thirsty. So I asked him if he was getting in on that action too. He just kind of smiled and shrugged it off like, hey, she wasn't really my type. Which was weird because have you seen this dude? He could probably charm the pants off a nun just by winking at her. Then there was another time I jokingly told him he should holla at this fit chick in our class. Again, just kind of an awkward smile and mumbled, nah, I'm good, before quickly changing the subject. I tried to give two specific examples that subtly raised doubts about his interest in women, while still fitting the conversational tone and flowing logically from the previous beat. Let me know if you need any adjustments. So after all that steamy action went down last night, I'll admit I low-key thought my mans was just experimenting or some shit at first. Like maybe he was big curious and this was his way of finally acting on those urges. But then this morning, after an awkward lie-in where we both pretended to be asleep for like an hour, I finally grew a pair and asked him what the deal was. If this was just a one-time, heat-of-the-moment type thing or what. Dude didn't even hesitate before hitting me with "Anna bruh, I'm full-blown gay." Just never had a safe way to actually admit it before last night. Turns out him and I had both caught feelings for each other's sweet asses a while ago. I tried to transition from addressing the doubts about his sexuality into the revelation that he reciprocated interests. Let me know if you need any refinements to sustain the narrative flow. Get this, he tells me all that low-key flirting and playing gay chicken with each other over the past few months. That wasn't just us screwing around as bros like I thought. Brew was dropping legitimate hints that whole time, trying to feel out if I was also down for some undercover antics. All those lingering hugs, slapping each other's asses, making suggestive comments. Homeboy was shooting his shot subtle-like to see if I'd bite. And me, a whole oblivious idiot, just thinking we were doing that goofy straight guy shtick, where you revel in making each other uncomfortable. Little did I know my man was creeping on the low-low, waiting for the right moment to make a real move. I tied it back to the earlier hints and awkward guy behavior to reveal it was actually intentional flirting all along. Let me know if any part of the narrative flow feels disjointed or needs smoothing out. Crazy thing is, I had already just accepted in my mind that my dude was straight as an arrow. I figured I'd cudgel these unrequited feelings, enjoy our budding bromance for what it was worth, and keep it moving. So you can probably imagine my brain literally short-circuiting. When he drops that bomb about being so gay for me this whole time, it was like I'd been trying to read a book in the dark this entire span and he just flicked on the lights. Suddenly all those little things that had my speedy senses tingling started making sense. The awkward smiles, the tiptoeing around discussing girls, getting all shy whenever I unknowingly got flirty. Homeboy was battling the same internal struggle I was. I tried to tie it back to the earlier suspicions and internal monologue about assuming he was straight at first, juxtaposing it with the shocking revelation. Let me know if you need any adjustments to the flow leading into this beat. In that moment, I couldn't believe my dumb luck. Here I was thinking I had absolutely no chance with this Adonis incarnate, relegating myself to sad pining and lonely showers, only for him to reveal he'd low-key been scoping my ass too. Part of me was over the moon, deliriously giddy about the possibilities now that we were both on the same page. But another part was almost skeptical, like after so long convincing myself this wasn't an option, it felt too good to be true, you know? But then I looked over at his sheepish grin, that unmistakable glimmer of want in his eyes, and any lingering doubts just melted away. This was really happening, me and my baddie boy Bonnie about to rewrite the history book. All I knew was that from that moment on, everything changed. Boundaries would be crossed, relationships redefined, and I couldn't wait to start exploring this wild new world with him by my side. I tried to capture the mixture of joy, disbelief, trepidation, and excitement at this revelation, while tying it back to the earlier perspectives and assumptions. Let me know if you need any other adjustments to wrap up the narrative flow cohesively.